The decision by the Senate Republican leadership today to have the Sanders Amendment read clearly tells us what their strategy is. It is to slow down or stop this bill at any cost. And I will tell you, it's at considerable expense to the safety of our nation. The bill that we want to move to immediately is obviously the Department of Defense appropriation bill. It is a bill we expect to receive this afternoon or early this evening from the House. And we want to move to this because we have very little time. If the Republicans insist, as they have in the past, for us to go through all of the procedural hurdles for the consideration of the Department of Defense appropriation bill because of this tactic of delaying the floor activity for a day, it will force it into the earliest Saturday night.
The tactics of delay and obstruction on the part of the Republicans is a political game that now threatens not to hurt Democrats, but to hurt people in need.
What's at stake here? Well, how about the fact that we have literally tens of thousands of our best and bravest at war in Afghanistan and Iraq, funding of $10.1 billion for operations and maintenance for the military operations in Iraq and Afghanistan are at stake if this is delayed. Military equipment, $23.6 billion in this bill to be used by our service members in those theaters of war. The military pay increase to be delayed, readiness and training, military health care, supporting of military families. And there's a provision in this bill we return to again to extend unemployment benefits. Isn't it curious that every time this comes up, when we want to extend unemployment benefits to those in America who've lost their jobs in one of the worst recessions in modern times, the Republicans find a way to delay it? Do you remember the last chapter in this saga, when they delayed unemployment benefits for 1 month because one senator stood up and said, I want to offer another amendment on ACORN? It just tells you the lengths they'll go to slow down the orderly business of the United States Senate.
Now, we can all disagree on the issues. We can disagree on substance. We can hold opposing views. That's what happens in a democracy. But don't proclaim those views at the expense of helping people make it in this economy. Don't stop funding for unemployed Americans during the holidays. It's not a stretch at this time of year to think of Ebenezer Scrooge, who, when asked for a contribution for those in need, replied, "What? Are there no poorhouses?" My Republican colleagues are acting Scrooge-like during this holiday season. They are holding so tightly to their political tactics that they are forgetting the needs of others.
If there's any idea or any question in your mind about motive and what's behind this, I have in my hand a smoking tweet from Senator Jim DeMint. Tweeted the following: "If Reid won't slow down this debate, we'll do it for him." End of tweet. Next smoking tweet from Senator DeMint: "Coburn forced Dems to read 767-page Sanders Amendment. We'll do everything we can to stop this government takeover of health care." So this is no accident, and it certainly isn't the decision of one senator from Oklahoma. This is a strategy by the Republican leadership which not only endangers the passage of health care reform, it endangers the enactment of the Department of Defense appropriation bill, which is critically important to our men and women in uniform. It endangers the extension of unemployment benefits, which millions of Americans are counting on. How in the world can we in good conscience do this at this time of year and go home and celebrate the holidays, leaving behind in our wake unemployed people who won't have the basics in life because of this strategy?
Everything they're doing has nothing to do with helping Americans get affordable health care insurance or creating jobs, but everything to do with winning the next election. The Republicans have decided that their road to electoral victory in 2010 and to poise themselves for 2012 is for this president and this Congress to fail. Now, some might applaud it as a political tactic, except that this is not about this president and it is not about this Congress failing. It's about failing the American people.